Hypixel minigames are dying, and they haven't gotten any better. Recently, they changed the arcade to make it so that only one game mode rotates per week, and it really hurts the other games. You see, Hypixel has set all their resources to Skyblock, and they've completely neglected development in all other game modes. But first, we have to get into the history of some Hypixel game modes. First, we have Warlords. Warlords got released on the 23rd of February 2015, and it got pretty consistent updates leading into June, but after that, the devs just dropped off with no updates until January 12th, 2017 with a pretty substantial update, adding more maps. But after that, there's nothing? The devs just completely abandoned the game. For what? Possibly Skyblock, which came out in 2019, or maybe they just needed to focus on some other games. But this is a real shame because Warlords is a great game. Prism and I have had a great time playing this game and have wanted to play it for a video, but it never works out because nobody ever plays the game. You wanna know why? Because Hypixel never updates it! This fate of no updates has been very common among many various Hypixel minigames, and it leads to the eventual death of all games that aren't insanely popular. Another extremely obvious game that absolutely died from Hypixel ignoring it is UHC. UHC was incredibly popular back in 2019 or so, and it absolutely dominated the YouTube scene. But then Hypixel forgot about it. They stopped updating on October 29th, 2020, and since then hackers have run rampant on all servers and the player count has dropped off to almost zero. Because of this, UHC content on YouTube has come to a screeching halt. And all of this for what? For Skyblock? Getting a bajillion updates and letting everything else die? Their communities left out to rot just to eventually die out the same way? Now, I understand that the new EULA stuff has Hypixel barely struggling to stay afloat monetarily, so they need to focus on Skyblock for the money from booster cookies. That makes sense, obviously. Another major way to see the death of these minigames would be the case of literally every arcade game. All of them got destroyed as even the biggest ones have a fraction of Hypixel's players due to lack of updates, even though many of them are great to play and incredibly enjoyable. Finally, what does this mean for other Hypixel minigames? Honestly, the writing is on the wall as it's even currently happening. Two major games still seen as popular have already started to die off, Bed Wars and even more so Sky Wars. The decrease in players is similar to how many of the other games began to die off too. And again, it's because of no updates or lackluster updates, leading to the game dying more and more each day. And why does Hypixel do this? It's because of Skyblock, and while I believe it's a great game at its core, it shouldn't be the sole focus of the server. Rather, I believe Hypixel should focus much more on updating their other games and possibly new games similarly to how MCCI is doing it. Now watch me rage quit after I die. But yeah, my personal solution to this problem would be that Hypixel takes Skyblock and puts it on its own separate server so that they can split up the team more effectively and not waste a bunch of resources on Skyblock instead. But tell me what y'all think down in the comments below.